I'm at a car rental depot from the future. Well, it looks like it, doesn't it? I'm actually at Barcelona Airport for the launch of the all-new Volvo EX30. So I'm going to take the car for a drive, find out all about it, and I'm going to see, as will you, whether this is one of the very best cars on sale today. Perfect location for a car review. Let's do this! Buy, sell,
Car wow.
Welcome to the inside of the new Volvo EX30. And first impressions are, I like it. But we're going to dig a little deeper soon, all right? First though, what I'm going to do is get driving and test the real world range in this car. So I've reset the trip computer, and over the course of this review, we'll see exactly how well this car performs in terms of energy efficiency. Now, the entry-level car has a 49 kilowatt-hour battery pack and should be able to do a range, Volvo says, of around 210 miles on a full charge. The larger battery version with 2 electric motors should be able to do up to 300 miles. This is actually the performance version, so four-wheel drive, like the extended range version. The same 64 kilowatt-hour battery pack, but because it's got more power, range is slightly less, around 290 miles. So, let's get going. Do you know what? I've pulled off and I've just realised something. Schoolboy error. I haven't set my mirrors where I want them. That one's easy to do. This one, less so, because there's no mirror button that's accessible easily. I have to go into a menu, press that button, then press this button. Mirrors look good, I like them, like frameless. That's a bit of a faff. Right, now let's do the other one. Thankfully there's no one behind me to get annoyed. Right, wrong way. Yeah. Putting the functions through the screen and the steering wheel does help keep this cabin looking very clean and minimalist, but it does hamper practicality. Obviously, once you've got the car set up to your liking, it's fine and it'll save your profile so that when you get back in it, even if someone else has driven it, you can just go to your profile and it will put it exactly where you want it. But when there's fine tuning to be done, it's not perfect. I've also noticed something else. They've gone and done a Tesla. Speedo's here on the infotainment screen. There's not one here. There's not a heads-up display either. Why isn't there a heads-up display? That'd be perfect. I mean, I really do like to see the speedo there, or especially there. There is not ideal. Yes, the number's big, but I'm still having to glance across to see it. Oh, I've got that mirror too high. Blimey. Right, I need to know where I'm going. Oh God, and this is on the screen. What? There we go, right. Close. Get the thing back. Where's the nav? Yeah, we're all right. I went to put up the window because I've got a bit of wind whistle there. But yeah, the actual, there we go. The controls are here, not there where you think they're gonna be. To be fair, our mild Porsches, they're there. That's better, it's not so windy. Oh, do you know what? I've always liked the seating positions in Volvos, and this is really good. I also like the thickness of the steering wheel. It's a bit odd that it's slightly square. Oh crap, red error. Just did a cheeky lane change there. And that is one of the definite benefits of electric cars. Glad I had my mirror set up because I quickly checked them and my rearview mirror. There was a gap and I was able to just zip across. That instant performance is so useful for doing those kind of maneuvers. And that bit, going over those rumble strips then, what a great example of how good this car's suspension is. Really good over bumps. What is that noise? What's that tapping sound? It's the indicator. It's weird to see it there. Like normally you'd see it here, like in your instruments. Okay, right, let's go a bit quicker. The safety system's constantly monitoring the cars around, as you can see, which is displayed there. Now I can put on like the assisted drive just by pressing that down. So it's going to auto steer to keep me in lane and use the radar to keep me a safe distance from the car in front. If I was to take my hands off the wheel, it'll probably get angry and disengage. But I'm just going to keep my hands there like that. My hands aren't off the wheel, but they're providing no input. And it does hook you up nicely to the lane. That's good. Look, I'm not breaking any laws. No, you can tell that I'm not holding it properly. It's so relaxing, you know, this piloted drive system. It can't change lanes for you like the system in the Tesla Model 3 can. However, that will be added in future. And now focus on driving. Look, I'm so busy looking across here. There's some sensors there that are looking at my eye movements and they think I'm getting distracted or tired because I'm looking at there to see what's going on with all the systems. Why is this guy on a bike on this road? What? It's a, what? Would you cycle along here? I wonder if that actually picked him up on his bike, whether he had a little cyclist icon. See if it picks up these people on the scooter. No, it thinks they're a car. Oh no, look, it's got it! It's got it! Yes! Yeah, oh, and warning, because I'm now too close to them, because they just tucked in too soon. I'm going to get another warning from that, because I'm too busy like watching this like it's a video game. Right, let me focus on the driving. There's so much tech going on. And what I can tell is that it's a reasonably quiet car. Bit of wind flutter from around here. Very minor road noise from the tyres. Generally very, very peaceful. And these seats, which are extremely comfortable, just make it even more relaxing. The EX30 is Volvo's smallest SUV, and they've sort of given it a youthful, fun-looking face. There's a touch of the alien cyborg about it, if you ask me. Just the design of the headlights, the way they're pixelated, it looks like it's smiling at you. It hasn't got a grille like a internal combustion engine car because it doesn't need one, but the flat front does still like hark back to Volvos of the past. I quite like that about it. It looks good from the side too, slightly swooping roofline, and there's something of the Nike Air Jordans about it. No, not with the swoosh, but just, do you know what I mean? Like a sports shoe. Yeah, it's nice. And alloy wheel designs, they start at 18 inches, rising to 20s, and they'll have like this aero effect on them for improved efficiency. And I quite like this as well, the way you got your EX30 badge just up there. The back at first glance looks quite simple, but there's actually quite a lot of detail going on, such as where you have this strip running into the lights, kind of a bit Polestar-y. Then there's all the detail in the tail lamps and the way you got the extra tail lamps up here, which is reminiscent once again of Volvos of the past. You have a black roof and different colour bodywork, and there's only 5 different colours to choose from, and here's what they all look like. What's your favourite? Let me know in the comments. The design of a car's lights is very important to how people see it at night and how recognisable it is. Well, just check out the light design on the new EX30. I think it's quite memorable. It's just the same from the back. It's good, isn't it? Volvo says this performance version of the EX30 will do 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. Let's find out the reality with my specialist timing gear. Launch time. 3.89 seconds. It's a little bit off the time they claim, but the road is wet and a little bit slippery. Actually, considering that, it's not bad at all. Need to try it in the dry though. Maybe that's for another time. One of the great things about the Volvo EX30 is that it's really competitive on price. So if you pause the video now, you'll be able to see exactly what I mean. Now, not only does the range start from just under £34,000, as you can see here on CarWow, they'll actually be introducing a less expensive version in the future, which will start from around £32,000. Also, the hot 430 horsepower model starts from around £41,000, and this one, which is the 430 horsepower with the top of the range trim level, the Ultra, it's £44,500, and that's a lot of car really for your money. Tell you what, driving on this road actually handles really well. I mean, for like a normal kind of family electric Volvo, it all feels very balanced and predictable. Yeah, you do feel totally in control of it. See if it's any better in the performance mode, performance all-wheel drive. So it should give me a bit more performance. Yes, it does, doesn't it? Blimey. That's crazy. I mean, it does pitch a little bit when you accelerate. You ready? Really pushes you back and the nose comes up like a speedboat. But wow, this is actually pretty mental. The brakes feel fairly natural as well. They can sometimes be grabby in electric cars, but this is good. In fact, it's just a little bit too good. I'm starting to feel sick. Are you starting to feel sick?
I feel my organs.
Your organs? Yeah. Which organs?
Every one of them.
Oh, you're awful. Oh, I feel really sick. That's a pretty building. Really complements the coastline, that does. Beautiful. Look left, then look right. Okay, I'm going to come out of performance mode because it does apparently reduce the economy slightly. Whoa, it does grip well. Once again, that made me feel a bit sick. Ugh. Right, I'm going to have to use the fan. Set it as I want it. Oi, come on, yo. There's full on. Come on. Come on, blast it. Not up there, out there. That's it. I mean, that is a perfect example that it's just no way near as easy to set the climate control through a menu where you have to go into one menu, then the next menu. as just turning a dial or pressing a button. Do you know what? You need all these driver assistance systems to prevent you like crashing into other cars and like, auto brake facilities, because with the amount of tech now in cars that's buried into the screen, there's some serious risks involved, aren't there? But I actually think they've mitigated against them with the safety system, so it's kind of like balances out. Although of course I could just not look at the screen, though that's quite hard to do where your speed's on it and then you get distracted into it. Someone in a Volkswagen ID3 wondering if they bought the wrong car. The answer is yes, they have. That saw me yawning and getting to sleep. That was brilliant, that was. It did its job there. So I've been up super early, woke up at 4 a.m. to catch the flight. I was just there, cruising along, yawning, and I thought I was like fully with it, but that made me realise I was starting to blooming drift off. Absolutely 100% did its job. Now if I didn't have it, I'm sure I'd have probably gone, what? But it prevented me getting to that slightly more risky stage. Volvo doing the safety thing. Thanks, Volvo. I bet you're thanking Volvo as well, aren't you? God, sometimes you don't even notice it happening to you. That was really good the way it picked it up. Anyway, look, twisty road ahead. Definitely gonna go into performance mode. Come on, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I've lost the race. I think there's a way to put this into the shortcut button here on the steering wheel, but I don't know how. Right now, hill descent, no. Performance all-wheel drive. Let's get that stability control. They say it's off, it's not off. It's a Volvo, it won't be off properly, but it should make it, whoa, a little bit more fun. Oh hello, what's going on here? Is this a photo shoot? Or a swingers meeting? Swingers meeting. There's going to be some serious high-end dogging there with the Porsches. Hey, come and have a look in here. Check out the interior design of this new Volvo EX30. I love what they've done with the dash. Got so much shape to it and texture. And have a look at these, the air vents. Really, really nice, that is. Also like this sort of like Hessian material on the dash. That's made out of recycled materials, as is this panel here and all these panels down here. Though this does feel a little bit cheap and scratchy, but it's recycled. I'm going to forgive it. I do like this though. The damping effect on the gear selector there and on the indicator stalks helps make the car feel expensive. So does this. These metal door handles, they're really, really nice. And then you've got these big armrest door handly things here to shut the door, and you've got huge door bins. They are massive, absolutely massive. Seats are really comfy as well. Loving the materials on them. And as with Volvos of the past, look, their little Swedish flag there for authenticity. Liking that. Now you might be wondering, practicality, Matt. I can see you've got big door bins, and here, look, you can see this. Lots of storage down here, wireless charging, and USB-C charging, and place to hide stuff out of sight. But where are the cup holders? Where? Well, have a look here. Huh. That's for one cup. Or if you got two. Clever. But you're asking again, aren't you? Where's the glove box? There's nothing there. Right, let's have a look in here. So, yeah, you do have to do everything through the screen. There it is. It's a central glove box. Look. There, found it. All good. I like this as well. Glass roof. Doesn't have a blind though, but it doesn't make it too hot in the cabin because it's got a special coating on it, which it's a bit like sunglasses. You know, just blocks out some of the harsh light. Anyway, yeah, really nice here on the inside, and the driving position is brilliant. But let's check out the back seat. So one of the advantages of an electric car is that you have a flat floor, and you know, it allows me to do this. Look, I can walk through it to get into the back. So let's see how roomy it is or isn't. Come on in, come and have a look in here. So, right. Now, Volvo say this is their smallest SUV, and they're not lying, because knee room is pretty tight. Thankfully, headroom, that's okay. People over 6 foot will be all right back here. But it doesn't feel as spacious in the back as a smart hashtag one, which actually this car shares most of its mechanical bits with, you know, like the battery, the motors and all that kind of stuff. In fact, if you want to see my full in-depth video review of the smart hashtag one, just click on the pop-out banner up there for the link in the description below. However, there are some things that I do really like back here. Look, in the pockets on the seat backs, there's a little pouch for the mobile phone. Here, as in the front, you have the window switches centrally mounted and the windows go all the way down. If I'm being brutally honest, I'd rather have the window switches on the door, but maybe they wouldn't be able to fit them in with the design that they've got in the front. And the door bins back here are reasonable, not as big as in the front though. Like this though, look, we do have some more storage down here. Can you see that? With a tray you can remove and probably lose. Let's put that back before I do actually lose it. But there is one thing that is missing. Can you guess what it is? What? Why haven't they fitted an armrest? Or any through loading? Damn it. Just coming into a little towny villagey thing. See what it's like around here? You're just pootling around. It's definitely very easy to place on the road and through streets. Good visibility. Bit of a blind spot here, but the whole low dash thing really does help. You've got big door mirrors. If you get the back window, it's not the deepest back window, but it's still not bad what you can see out of it. Oh, right, this is a bit of a tight turn. So the EX30 in front of me cannot make it. This has a turning circle of 10.6 meters. Let's see if I can get around. Yep, no problemo. Oh, hello, here's the police. No, they're trying to pull out in front of us. Well done, police. Nothing like taking on the Spanish police when you're British. Once again, you know, navigating through gaps, this is super easy. Hey, look, not as easy as that. Haha, Citronami. We've got all the sensors there kicking in, doing their job, and the steering on this is light. And I've even got it in a heavier setting. So let's go into here, settings. Oh, one too many button presses again. Oh, where is it? Steering feel soft. Soft steering feel. It's actually weight on it. Not sure I can feel the difference. Oh, they're letting me go. It's very kind. You know what, let's go on to one pedal drive. How do I do that? One pedal drive there. See what that's like. See if I can drive around without touching the brake. Will it stop completely? Yep. It's not the most abrupt one pedal drive, but it does stop completely. Just find out bumps in the road, really test that suspension, watch out for strange chap just wandering about in the road, not using the pavement. But this surface is pretty bad, a little bit of bump here, a little bit of bumpage there. I am so impressed with how this car deals with bumps. It's very, very comfy to drive. Volvo have nailed it, they really have. Oh, I don't know whose fault that was. I don't know. Is it my fault, your fault? I don't know. It's everybody's fault. Brakes are good. Don't know what you do at those junctions. We don't tend to have them in the UK. Just thought I'd go. Went London style. Oh look, here's a speed hump to test out the suspension. It's one of those brutal ones. Really abrupt. Oh yes, dealt with that really well. The suspension on this car is so good. It's very, very comfy. Now this is an even bigger speed hump, but a more progressive one, and yet again, oh yes. It's really satisfying the way it just deals with those kind of things. It's like, oh, Volvo comfort. I think they did a great job of balancing comfort with actually pretty decent cornering capability. It's not easy to do. Since I've been driving it, this car has averaged 22.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which when I put that through a converter comes out to 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. And then when I multiply that up by the battery capacity of this car of 64 kilowatt hours, I get a real world range of 172.8 miles on a full charge. It's supposed to be able to do 286 this particular car. However, I have been driving it rather aggressively, you know, hooning it around some twisty roads. launching it. So I'm going to give it another chance. I'm going to reset it, and then I'm going to drive back more sedately, you know, like a normal person, to the hotel I'm staying at, and we'll see what it averages in terms of efficiency then. And depending on how it does will affect the final verdict that I'm going to give to you on this car.
Some time later.
So I've just done almost 50 kilometers, driven like a normal sensible person, and I've been averaging 18 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And when I convert that, that works out to 3.45 miles per kilowatt hour. So when you times that by the 64 kilowatt hour battery, that's a real world range of 221 miles on a full charge compared to 286, which is an accuracy of about 77%, which isn't the best I've had from an electric car of its claimed range compared to actual range, but it's still pretty decent. However, I wonder if this car will do better if you have a slightly different version. It's another day and I've got a different version of the EX30. This is the single motor rear wheel drive extended range model, and I'm going to be doing another range test on this to see if I can get better efficiency out of it compared to the dual motor version. Got a slightly different paint scheme. It's called Cloud Blue. Looks more grey to me, very light grey. Anyhow, it's the Ultra version, so top of the range like the previous car I drove. However, we've got a different interior trim treatment, so I'll just scoot across because it's dead easy to do. Look, yep. Here on the dash, it sort of reminds you of that kind of concrete you get. Cameraman Adam, do you prefer this or the like Hessian in the other car?
I prefer this one.
I prefer the other one. How about the seats? Because we've got slightly different seat treatment as well, like fake leather here. I prefer the other seats.
I prefer these.
What? We can't agree. Anyway, okay, there's some things I want to show you in here. If you look, you can see Harman Kardon sign up there. This has a sound bar in the front of the car. So one of the things that Volvo have tried to do is reduce the amount of wiring going down the sides of the cars. That's why you've got the window switches here, and that's why you've got a sound bar. And as standard, the car doesn't have speakers in the door. All of that helps reduce the cost. This sound bar though, with the Harman Kardon system in it, sounds great. Have a listen to this. So let's just put the stereo on. Here we go.
Knowing me, knowing you.
It's enough of that. Copyright, and it's a little bit too close to home. Anyhow, that is a banging stereo. Something else I really like, I'm going to show you here. Look. Check this out. Look at that. I love the way the lights look and it says Volvo there. And I like this as well, look. The little button to release the boot. But there is a slight problem in here. See, the boot capacity is 318 litres, which is quite small. You know, BYD Atto 3 boot capacity, 440 litres, BMW iX1, 490 litres. Now, if you look at it like that, it's not great, but you can lower this, though that's still your 318 litres in there. It's probably going to be enough for most people. And different manufacturers measure their boots to different heights and stuff like that. So maybe not as bad as you think. Anyway, let's take it for a drive and see what range I can get out of this version and whether this is the version to go for or the all-wheel drive performance model. Right, now I'm going to drive this car to the airport and I'm going to do an efficiency test again. So let's go into the trip and reset that. But before I do, I can see what the person did yesterday when they drove it. Don't know who it was, but they did 69 kilometers. I think it was a varied route like the one I did. And in this car, they achieved an average of 16.1 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. I can't remember whether that's better or worse than what I did. Let's have a look. 16.1 converted to miles per kilowatt hour. That's 3.86. Ooh. So that is better than I did. 3.86. And if I times that up by the battery capacity of 64, that's a range of 247 miles on a full charge, and this single motor version is supposed to do 298, so that is actually 83% of the claimed range. They did better than I did. I was hooning about, wasn't I? Anyway, let's see if I can beat their score. Let's do this. Come on, reset this. You got this, Watson. You got this. It's quite annoying driving in this stop-start traffic with all these blooming traffic lights. Reminds me of London. However, this is where electric cars really excel compared to internal combustion engine cars. They're far more efficient at the slow speed stuff. So this actually might help my overall efficiency. See if I can beat that figure that the last driver got. Right, let's check out the air quality here, right? Let's go into here, air quality, because it's starting to smell. I can smell that, but it says it's fine. But I can smell the fumes, can't you?
Yeah, definitely.
How is that good? Is this a lie? I wonder what the pickup's like actually. Do you really need the dual motor? It's pretty good, but it's noticeably slower compared to the dual motor version. And this is the interesting thing. You see, this particular car, the single motor extended range, costs from £38,500 and it has 270 horsepower. For an extra £2,500, you can have the four-wheel drive version, dual motor with 430 horsepower. So you're paying an extra £2,500 for four-wheel drive and an extra 150 horsepower. Where else in the car world is such an upgrade so affordable? If you ask me, that's a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. Why would you not do it? Either get the top of the range version or wait until the lower entry-level version comes in for around like £32,000. Now I've got to say a special shout out to the man who actually worked on the suspension of this car and how it drives. His name is Egbert and he's actually been with Volvo for 35 years and he's retiring after this car. This is his last car and I've got to say, Egbert, what a way to go out in style. Congratulations. Right, here we are then. So let's find out what economy I got out of this car. So I'm going to go into the trip computer, go into car status, trip info, 15 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So when I convert that, it comes to 4.14 miles per kilowatt hour. And when I multiply that out by the battery capacity of 64 kilowatt hours, we get a real world range of 265 miles on a full charge. So 265 divided by 298, that's like 89% of the claimed range, which is pretty blooming good. I'm pleased with that. I'm also very pleased with this car. I really like the look of it. I like the way it drives. I think it's keenly priced. There are a few things that are a bit annoying about it, like having to do everything through this screen and the fact that some of the buttons aren't quite where you'd want them, like the window switches. But there's reasons for that, you know, and it's all to keep the cost down by having wiring just centered around the center of the car rather than running down the doors. Also, the boot is a bit small and it's tight in the back seats, but the reason they've done that is to make more room here in the front, and it does feel quite spacious in the front. And you know what? I can actually forgive it some of those problems that I have with the car. Reason being that it's got this personality, and that plus the way it drives just makes me want it. It really makes me want it, and that is so important. I think this is an absolutely brilliant car, and if you're thinking about buying one, get your order in now. You will not be disappointed.